Hi, Ben from Maybe Autism is my superpower.
Hey bud, today we're going to make a video about kids with autism going to airports and flying in airplanes, because a lot of families have asked us, has Ben ever flown in an airplane before, and how did he do, and what did we do to help you? So, have you flown in an airplane?
Yeah,
Yeah. When?
on April 2019 to see my grandpa in Florida.
Yes, very cool, Ben. But now, how old were you when you went on the airplane?
13.
Yes, and we did not take any trips on airplanes to Florida to see your grandparents before then, because it was just
Because it was just too much.
too much for you.
And my grandparents went to Long Island to see us.
Yes, they traveled to us because they knew it was hard for you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about how your trip did go, because I'm sure many kids who have autism, even younger than you, even when it's hard for them, sometimes have to get on an airplane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they have to travel. Okay, so let's first talk about why we didn't travel you on an airplane early on. What were some of the things that were very challenging for you and that you think would be...
Crowds.
Crowds? What makes you nervous in crowds?
Germs.
You're afraid of catching germs?
Catching germs is something I do now.
Yeah, you're
Being
still,
afraid.
You're still
now.
nervous about that.
I'm still nervous about that.
Yeah. Okay, what's something else that you think might bother kids?
Lighting.
The lighting? Is it dark or bright in the airport?
Bright.
Really bright, yes. What about going through security?
Security's hard.
What about it was...
Taking my shoes off.
Oh, you didn't like the taking off your shoes. Okay. What about the noise in the airplane?
It's loud.
Very loud, right? And it's a little bit of a tight, small space to have to sit in for a while. So there's a lot of sensory things going on at airports and on airplanes, plus the airplane's moving. And there's a lot of things to consider for kids with autism, and things that I didn't even think about before we got on the plane, going through security, like you having to take off your shoes. That was a little bit of an issue for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you did it. So let's talk about how we helped you handle the flight. Okay, there's certain things that kids can do that maybe can help them. First thing is, we tried to desensitize you before you even got on the plane, right? What did you watch?
YouTube.
Over and over again. Thank God for YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you watched a lot of airplane videos on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
People boarding or planes taking off. What did you watch?
YouTube.
Yeah, what were the videos about?
Security, boarding.
All of it, right?
And the plane.
And being on the plane. Great. So what do you think are some things that would help kids who have to go on an airplane? Oh, one thing I want to point out is we spoke to the people and told them you had autism, right?
Yeah.
So what were we able to do?
Pre-board.
Yes, we were able to pre-board because of that. We flew, what airline did we fly?
Southwest.
Southwest was very nice about understanding that you had autism. They let us pre-board, which helped us pick the seats that made you most comfortable, and made sure mommy was able to sit with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are some other things that can help kids on the airplane or in the
iPad.
Oh, yeah, of course, the iPad. And what do you put on your ears?
Headphones.
Definitely headphones in airports, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on airplanes to help with the noise control and to watch some of your favorite things and play your favorite games. For you, we use germ fighter oils to make you not so nervous about the germs, because what do you have that makes you nervous about
Immune
germs?
deficiency.
Yeah, so you're really always nervous about that. So we always have to help you feel like you're not going to get sick. And a schedule, right? Like always telling you what's coming next, and maybe bringing a whiteboard, and we wrote down a schedule of what's happening first and next and what's after that, and you can cross it off as we go along, so you just really knew the steps ahead. And maybe something to help kids stay seated in their seats on the planes. What are some things maybe they could bring to help them if they're getting fidgety?
Squeeze balls.
Squeeze balls or fidget toys.
Rubik's Cubes.
Yeah, maybe some fidget toys just to help keep them not so fidgety. It's a little challenging. Some snacks. We brought your own snacks, right? You liked chewing gum on the plane too, so that was something that also helped you. And really the YouTube, I think, was the biggest help, having you watch it over and over again, right? So for you, Ben, when mommy has you watch YouTube to desensitize you to things, like we did this when you were younger and you needed blood tests often for your immune deficiency, we had you watching YouTube to watch kids get their blood drawn. And you went not only from being desensitized, but you became really fascinated with it, right? Were you interested in phlebotomy for a while? What did you like about it?
The supplies.
You got really interested in the supplies, and it made you want to go get your blood tests because you wanted to see what supplies were at the labs. And the same things happened with airports now. You watched so many videos last year about airplanes and airports to help you, that you became fascinated with airports and airplanes, and you learned a lot of information, right? And you're still interested in it?
Yeah.
So can you tell people, maybe, let's share some facts you know now. If I wanted to fly from New York to Italy, what airplane would I take?
Alitalia, Air Italy, or Norwegian, or Delta.
Wow, those all fly from New York to Italy? What if I wanted to go from New York to California?
Either American, Delta, or JetBlue. If you want to fly United, fly out of Newark.
Oh, Newark. Nice. Now, what about when we went to Florida from New York? Did we have other options? What were the options?
Long Island MacArthur Airport, Southwest out of Long Island MacArthur Airport.
That's what we flew.
JetBlue out of JFK Airport, which we might fly next time.
Maybe.
And the bad ones are Spirit and Frontier, because both of those are like a bus in the sky.
Those are low-cost carriers, right?
All of those are low-cost carriers.
Yeah.
And Spirit and Frontier take it too far.
Okay. That's an opinion, right?
That's an opinion.
Okay.
Because of those tray tables, non-reclinable seats.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Ben. Do you know what plane we took? What kind of plane we took?
Boeing 737.
Oh, you know that. So what if I wanted to go New York to Japan?
It'll be probably a Boeing 787 Dreamliner.
You think so? Wow. You've learned a lot. So sometimes desensitizing yourself by watching videos, you start to memorize things, right? Do you think watching YouTube before you got to the airports for a few weeks before helped you understand the airport? You also noticed things in the airport that I would have never noticed. What did you notice because of your superpower ears? What did you notice?
The chime.
What kind of chime was happening?
Pre-announcement chime.
A pre-announcement chime?
Yeah.
On the plane or in the airport?
Airport.
When they announced what?
Like TSA regulations and wireless internet.
Oh, there
at
was
Tampa.
There was a chime, and then they'd make an announcement. How did the chime go? Like that? Do it again. Well, did it have a note to you or a key?
It definitely had a B.
A B note?
A B note.
It was in the pitch of B? Interesting. So, yeah, your ears also notice things that mommy doesn't notice. And things that bothered you are things that really wouldn't have bothered me, like taking off your shoes. So it's really about maybe identifying all the steps for these kids beforehand, making a list so they know what's coming next, and try that YouTube. I know some airlines have really good programs now to help try to desensitize kids to airplanes, but I feel like if Ben can do it at this age, most kids can get themselves there, because he really struggled early on with all that sensory that was at an airport. Right, bud? So, is there hope for kids getting on airplanes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Thanks for sharing your experience.
Hopefully enjoy. Goodbye, and don't forget, autism is a superpower.
Sure is. Thanks, Ben.